when
took it
did you
seriously.
realize that, okay, if this is a blog now, I need to establish this as a business and get teams on board
Yeah.
and monetize
You
this?
know, it's all very fluid. So when I started out, so my now husband and business partner, 15 years, we've been married for so long, was at Harvard Business School at the time, and we were doing 2 years long distance. And I
Oh.
started the blog kind of just to kill time in between. And he told me, he's like, you know, in the US, it's really big business.
Yeah.
So there's huge potential to do this full time. And I always had multiple jobs. I used to be a radio jockey. I was still doing the evening drive
Oh.
on Radio 1. And I had joined Channel V as their head of digital content.
Okay.
And I used to do the blog as a hobby on the side.
Okay.
So it was actually funny because I think I got hired for the job at Channel V because they had seen my blog and they said, no, please keep doing your blog, but run our digital content.
Wow.
And this is when all the digital content used to be the cutting floor room scraps. They would never shoot for digital.
Right.
It would be like whatever we've shot for television.
Bits of
or
that will
Bits
go.
of that or whatever extra footage is not being used. वो डाल दो internet पे. So it was kind of like that, and I think that the business end came in when there's another business partner of mine, Mike Melly, who actually joined before my husband did, and you know I was telling him that I get all these emails saying come cover this now because it's become a thing. And he said, let me help you because I know there's too much incoming. And I still remember my first collaboration was for a pair of Levi's jeans.
Okay.
And they said, we'll fly you to Delhi and you can, you know, interview Ileana de Cruz and Jacqueline Fernandez and Chitrangada, and we'll give you a pair of jeans. And I remember being so excited about this idea that somebody's going to fly me and put me up in a hotel and give me a pair of jeans just to be written about on my blog. I thought it was, and years later I showed to Chitrangada this blog and she was like, wow, we go so far back. So it was all this stuff that was in the beginning we didn't know about. And then the business end got formulated as we realized that there's something here.
Right.
And Mike and Nashad and I sat together. And in fact, I had an offer for someone had offered to buy my blog
Yes,
back
I
then.
remember.
Like 15
Yeah.
years ago for 25 lakhs. They said, we'll buy it outright and we'll also give you a salary of like 1.2 lakhs.
Were you tempted?
A month. I did because I was
Okay.
like, wow, somebody's going to pay me 25 lakhs for this. That's crazy. I was really thought about it. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's amazing. It'll pay my bills and I get big salary. And, you know, 15 years ago, that's a really good
Yeah.
salary. And so I was like, I thought about it. And then I remember sitting down in my living room. This is literally like that many years ago, me, Mike, and Nashad. And they said, you know, if somebody's coming with this offer now, that means it's worth more.
Valuable, yeah.
So don't sell it. And I said, look, I'll do this and I'm willing to go it alone. And I never thought of myself as being an entrepreneur or any of that. I said, I'll do it if you guys do it with me.
Right.
And I said, but you have to stick it through till the end. And they were true to their word. They've been my business partners for 15 years, till the time last year where we have sold and gotten fully acquired by Good Line Group. But they're
Right.
still there.
Right.
So 15 years on, it's the dream team.
Very interesting.
It's very hard. I always
journey.
joke, I was like, marry the CEO, then he can never leave.
But you're the face of it, so that's the interesting part. I wanted to ask you, how is your working relationship with your partners when it comes to business?
It's great. I mean, there's obviously always going to be some friction that's healthy and normal. I think the dynamic that we had to get used to was being husband-wife.
Yeah.
And then Mike is my work husband. So I think the thing is that me as a personality and as a talent, all have, let's be honest, all of us have some nakras. So they've also learned how to handle me over the years
Okay.
and handle my moods and all of that. And I'm also one of those people who, if I have an idea, I'm like, done, let's do it. I want to run with it.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to have process and systems in place. So I think we balance each other out really well, where they, you know, think about what is the larger goal and the vision of it. And I kind of am the ideas person and it works out really well.
Nice. So basically, I look at it as a publishing company,
Yes.
right? As a media publishing company. And everybody has this question about how is that monetizable? How do you monetize this space? And nobody better than you to tell
So
us.
it's actually changed over the years. Initially, it used to be something called advertorial, where you know you might be writing an article about whatever entertainment, fashion, lifestyle, and then you might write an article specific to a brand that has paid you to write about them, and you put a hash ad. And we were always very clear. Now there are laws that you have to
Yes.
mention ad. We've always done it from the beginning. And an advertorial is writing a use case or how to use a particular mascara or you know a particular fashion brand, and that's how you do it. But over the years, it's really evolved, and now if you see, it's also become a lot of influencer marketing.
Right.
So we actually, once we were acquired by Good Glam Group, we also launched Good Creator Co., which is the largest ecosystem for creators, where they can sign up on our app, they can use a tool to figure out how much they should charge for their posts, and they get a lot of campaigns, paid campaigns from a lot of the internal brands that we also have,
Right.
and external brands as well. So I think what's happened is that, you know, even though you generally think of media as a non-tangible product. I'm not selling you a product, but I'm selling you an experience. And what people do is, and what brands do is, they pay to be associated with that. So if you see a lot of media brands will have IPs of that kind, whether it's a style awards or a fashion awards or a fashion week or things like that. For us, it was a lot of those things as well. We created a lot of IPs over the years. And for example, like we did a Double Ratnani calendar where we did a calendar with content creators, because he always shoots Bollywood celebrities. And we've done like 7-8 seasons of television. So that was monetizable, because then the brands that came on board to be sponsors of Miss Malini's World paid Miss Malini Entertainment to be sponsors on the show.